Austin.
Oh, that's right. Awesome.
Yeah.
Yay. I hope to come that way soon. Yeah.
All right. Welcome, everyone. You're listening to Mindful Manifesting. This is Ariana Rollins, and we've got another great manifesting breakthrough episode. And I think you're really going to enjoy this one. I'm so loving the connections and the experiences I'm having in conversation with people because they're so relatable. I've been there, and perhaps you as a listener can really relate. And by the way, as I guide, and we're going to talk to Heather in just a moment, as I guide Heather through her breakthrough, I'd like you to start to reflect, well, am I experiencing that? Because we're all connected. And so as Heather goes through the breakthrough, if you're actively engaged, you can start to experience a shift too. It's quite amazing. All right. So before we get started with that, if you would like to experience a manifesting breakthrough, look in the show notes and you can make an application. The link will be right there. And let's just dive in. So Heather, welcome. Thanks so much for being on the show.
Thank you for having me, Ariana. I'm so glad you're back in my radar, and I love seeing your energy and so appreciate you.
Well, it's been years since we've seen each other and connected. So I was really looking forward to this conversation.
Me too. Me too.
So let's dive right in. So you submitted some questions and some of your top focus of what you would like to work on, and we're going to pick one. Let go of negative thinking and create a success mindset, spiritual alignment, clear resistance to manifesting bigger objectives. Which one do you see will give you the most value? What's up for you most?
Well, positivity is my number one strength. So probably not the negative one, but the other, I feel like the middle one. What was the middle one?
Spiritual alignment?
Spiritual alignment. Yes.
Okay, great.
That one.
All right. Mm-hmm. Because that's my experience. And I love you pick that, because what I notice is when we are tuned in, when we're aligned, when we're connected, and then we're really hearing the intuitive messages about what action to take. Mm-hmm. And there's a flow that happens to life. So when someone picks spiritual alignment, like, yes, then because once we get that connected, we're plugged in. It's like the other day I was thinking of, do you have a MacBook?
Yes. Yes.
So you know what they call the mag port, where you get the plug kind of close to your MacBook and then it just plugs right in? Do you know what I mean?
Yes. Right? That magnet. The magnet. Yes. Magnetic. Yeah.
That's what I see, connection and spiritual alignment. It's like we get that close and boom, we're connected. And then we'll talk about, we get into the breakthrough session, what disconnects you. And we'll do a little work around that that you can get more quickly back in alignment. Because it's not a matter of being perfect. We're not plugged in all the time. But how quickly do we recognize when we're unplugged? Yeah. And how long does it take us to get back in track and alignment? So, I mean, that's really the skill. All right. So let me look at the rest of your notes here. Let's see. What kind of books have you read or training you've taken to learn how to manifest? This is one I've not heard of. Vagrant by J.P. Herman.
You know, when a book comes into your radar 3 times, you buy it. So this one did. And I just finished it. Actually, when I did your intake, I finished it already. And my favorite takeaway was we want to manifest something, but we don't claim it because we're scared that it won't meet our expectations. So I want a pink shirt. Well, what if it's not the cutest pink shirt? Well, now I'm mad. You know, like I'm using one that's not that attached. So that was my favorite takeaway from that book. Like, it's almost like letting that claim go deeper without the disappointment of the unexpected, not being expectation that you don't even, that's not even true, that if it's failed yet because you haven't even experienced it yet. So fear. It was cool.
Is that where I thought you were going to go, Heather, which is really common, is that we can set an intention and we launch our rocket of desire out there. And then there's a part of us that says, I don't really know if I want this because I have to change things. Maybe that means I've got to let go of how I've been doing my business, or my relationship's going to have to shift. And what happens if they don't want to come with me and I have to end it? So a lot of people can hold themselves back from the bigger manifestations because they instinctively know it's going to be change. And most of us really like things. We like routines. It gives us security, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Me personally, less. I kind of jump off the ledge. So I do see that with my, I'm a ledge jumper, but when I read that, I could feel part of me like have a fear about being disappointed. And it was deep in me. And that's what's maybe holding me back. But yes, I totally relate what you say. Personally, that one doesn't, but I see that with a lot of people, like, because I do nutrition changes. So
I'm going to make note of that. If we have time, we're going to work on that fear of being disappointed in what you've manifested.
Oh, cool.
Okay, great. All right. So what's your experience with manifesting so far? You said it's good, but then you can crumble when you get overwhelmed.
Yes, that's my
talk a little more about that, please.
That's my kryptonite. My nervous system, just that overwhelm, or I probably have a little bit of the leftover perfectionist. Like I need to execute at this level. And if I can't get there, then I'm overwhelmed. And then I just forget it. Oh, well, I'll start tomorrow. Like that type of feeling.
Okay. All right. Beautiful. Thank you for that.
Yeah.
And then what do you think is interfering with manifesting your intentions? And what you wrote is, I have to do it all on my own with too much responsibility, too much mental exhaustion. Okay.
Yep. Okay. That one's
right. So
default.
I tend to attract people who are highly sensitive and empaths.
Yes.
And are you on that train?
Highly. That's why I have to live in my RV, because I keep my nervous system supported by being in flow. Like I can keep myself safe and flow better.
Yeah.
As a very high sensitive. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It sounded like that the way you described that. Okay. So what we'll do is I'm going to guide you to what I call a starter memory. And this is how I work, is we pick a memory from your past that felt really aligned when you were tuned in, tapped on, you had that spiritual alignment. And then we're going to gently modify it to create a future memory. And that future memory we're going to put inside your unconscious mind. We're going to use your heart as the access point. And then that will start to guide you naturally in the future. So it's like setting an intention, setting an objective, and asking for the support, not outside there, the universe, infinite intelligence, and quantum field, nothing wrong with that. But we're actually asking inside you, because you are the doer, you are the creator. Yeah.
Cool.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to guide you through a little grounding to get you out of your head and into your heart. And then I'm going to be asking you a question to find that memory of when you were spiritually aligned, and we're going to activate that. How's that sound?
Great.
Okay, great. So just get comfy in your seat, spine straight, feet flat on the floor. And please, if you're listening to the podcast, do not do this if you're driving. Eyes open. Take a deep breath in of peace and calming energy. Exhale out the earlier part of your day. In your mind's eye, go to one of your favorite nature spots. Maybe you're at the ocean. Maybe you're in the mountains surrounded by majestic trees, or you're somewhere else. Start to see yourself there. Start to feel yourself there. Notice what you're hearing in your environment. Notice what you're seeing. Notice what you're feeling in your body. Now imagine in your mind's eye, you could actually go to your favorite nature spot and take a deep breath in of that high quality air. Exhale out the earlier part of our conversation and any free-floating thoughts. Let it go. Notice your feet flat on the floor. Imagine out at the bottom of your feet, you have your own unique grounding roots. Like a tree, these roots strengthen, nourish, and stabilize you. Imagine you could follow those roots all the way to the center of the earth, and you see a circle of light. Imagine planting your roots in that circle of light, grounding you, centering you, signifying you are there. Allow any tension, any resistance, any againstness, anything blocking the love and the light from entering your cells. Allow that resistance to leave your body and flow out the bottom of your feet into the soil of the earth below. You might feel a bit of tingling in the bottom of your feet as the resistance leaves you. Good. Bring your awareness to your heart, your center of creation, and ask for a memory where you felt relaxed, fulfilled, peaceful, satisfied, maybe even loved. And yeah, just a little smile or raise your hand when you see something beautiful. Mm-hmm. Focusing on that moment in time, ask true self, or if you call it higher self or spirit, ask, were you present? Beautiful, great. So asking true self to take you back in time to a moment, a memory of when you felt spiritually aligned. Maybe you were in a flow state, life was balanced, you were fulfilled. You don't have to tell me what it is, but just tell me when you see a moment.
Yes.
Yes, beautiful. Mm-hmm. So I'd like you to rate that memory on a fulfillment level, desirability, 10 being very desirable and fulfilling.
10.
And 1 to 10, beautiful.
Yes.
Okay, great. So take that memory as a starter memory. And I'd like you to imagine we're having a conversation 3 months out, maybe end of January, Heather, and you have aligned spiritually and you're maintaining it. You're in that flow. Good things are happening to you. So I'd like you to describe, what would that look like?
Similar to the memory. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Is that, you mean like details, like where I'm at?
Or, share just a little bit. Okay. It's okay.
Love it.
Yeah.
I'm in nature and I slept great. I woke up like in awe of my surroundings. I'm like kind of in either here in California or in Hawaii. It's kind of in a very palm tree, green, lush, tons of fruit and vegetables around.
Okay.
And I'm just so, my heart, I can actually feel like I look out and I'm seeing life through my heart versus like thinking.
Oh, I feel it. I just got chills.
I could feel that from the memory.
All right. So close your eyes again, and then we're going to anchor that in your body. Surround that image. You're in nature, maybe California, Hawaii. You're in awe of your surroundings. You slept well, and there's palm trees, fruit, vegetables around, and you look out and you become aware that you're seeing life through your heart. You're aligned, you're connected. Surround it with a ball of white light and place that into your heart. And I will make the request. This is an example of what Heather would like to experience in right action at right timing, doing so in ways that are for the highest good of her and of all involved. And just breathe that in and out of your body. Beautiful, beautiful. Okay. So now I'd like to not be like a Debbie Downer, but I want to anticipate something that might come up that could trip you up. Okay. Let's see what we can do about releasing some of that energy and re-perceiving, reframing it.
Okay.
So I'd like you to remember back to the most recent time, could be this week, could be 3 weeks ago, a month ago, but that you felt overwhelmed, that there was too much responsibility, you got to do it on your own, too much mental exhaustion. You don't need to describe it to me, but do you see it?
Got it. I got it. Very. Yep.
So focus on your heart, please.
Okay.
And we're going to try something. Let's see if we get an answer here.
Okay.
Focus on your heart. Remember back to that moment. And let's just ask your true self, what was so troubling about that moment?
Mm.
What was so troubling? What do you get? What's the message?
I got the word hard right away. I got the word hard and deflated, like just a deflated feeling.
So that's like true self said, Heather, you were feeling it was hard. You were deflated.
Deflated.
Okay.
Little powerless. Yeah, a little powerless.
Okay. Thank you for that. Hard, deflated, powerless. Okay. So ask your true self, what inner resources, what do you need to face whatever was going on, where you were connected with true self, you were aligned, you were strong. What are the resources? What are the perceptions that would help you face those situations differently? So you can stay aligned.
Just feeling safer in my own boundaries and body. Feeling safe in my own boundaries and body.
Okay, beautiful. So it gets back to that sensitivity again. Yep. Okay. Own boundaries and body. Okay. All right. So let's weave that in. Let's create a moment in time where you felt safe, speaking how you felt, your boundaries, communicating your boundaries. You felt safe in your body, in your skin, and the world was responding positively. And you were feeling powerful, strong. Tell me when you can imagine that.
I can. Yeah.
Okay. Yes. Surround that creation, surround that new perception with the ball of white light, place it in your heart. And I will make the request. This is how Heather would like to handle situations where previously she felt overwhelmed, where it felt hard. She felt deflated or powerless. She's now safe in her body, safe in her boundaries, owning her truth and expressing it. Breathe that in and out. So this is an example of how she would like to create, handle, and perceive situations like that in the future. Please make that happen and unfold in ways that are for the highest good of Heather and of all involved. Breathe it in and out. Okay. And how are you feeling?
Good. Yeah, twitches. A lot of body twitches. Lots of twitching.
Like things are getting like reset in a way?
Like even like my liver kind of hurt. I don't know why. Or something over here, like a side ache. Oh, it was more like a side ache. And then just some muscle twitching too. So just some movement from,
So that your liver or the side ache.
Yeah,
let's touch on that for just a moment. Can you surround that with the ball of white light, that feeling?
Yeah.
Okay. Bring it into your heart. And let's assume we can ask that body feeling because it came for a message, came to deliver a message. Ask, what are you trying to tell me?
Anger. It's full like anger. Yeah, because I was mad. I was really mad, but I repressed it, trying to.
All right, so I'm going to give you an assignment, if I may, Heather.
Please.
So this is something we call free-form writing, and or we could call it conscious complaining. It's a way to get out safely those experiences. So you're going to take a blank piece of paper and talk to that part. Let's just call it anger. And say, I am listening. Thank you for communicating. And just allow it to talk like you would a best friend. You want to hear it. Now, if you get an insight that's a positive insight, not like the mental and emotional pooping that's going to start at the beginning, surround it, like make a circle, and then write those in your journal or a new piece of paper for you to reflect on.
Perfect.
then rip up that original paper. You can do a ceremony with it, burn it, flush it down the toilet, whatever you want, but get rid of it. Don't reread it.
Okay.
Only the bits that were the uplifting insights, new awarenesses. Okay.
Check. Perfect.
All right, good. All right. So now I want to go into just to assess where you are on your manifesting journey. As I see it, I've been doing this for nearly 20 years, working with people, helping them achieve their goals, bringing in energy of manifesting. And there's 5 common phases. So as I describe them, maybe you could say, oh, that sounds like where I am, my kind of center of gravity. And there's no like, we're in this one for a month and then we're in this 2 months, and we can go backwards and forwards. And the whole thing could take a year. It could take several years, depending on where someone is. Okay. First, phase 1 is pushing and forcing using willpower or stuck in status quo. So you're excited about manifesting and you're succeeding at small things like parking spaces. Maybe notice you're becoming luckier, but the big goals, the ones you want to bring into reality, you waver in and out, and there's not that certainty, that clarity. That's phase 1. So you can either push willpower, which is conventional goal setting, or you just like, oh, everything's okay. You do this kind of spiritual, I'm really fortunate. Second phase, frustrated and frantic, taking random action and not succeeding. You've got clarity on your intention. You've got through phase 1. You're playing at manifesting that intention, but because you're keen to make it happen fast, you can be like throwing time, energy, money, and resources in a lot of different things. So it's not following through on one thing. It's like pulling the plant up by the roots and looking, are you growing? Are you growing?
Exactly. Yep.
Okay, so that's phase 2. Phase 3 is letting go of control and a little bit of surrender. So you've handed over, you've got clarity what you want, you're solid in phase 2, you're sticking to something, a technique, and you're working it in a very gentle, light, playful way. And then you just let it go. And you're waiting for the intuitive guidance and the cookie crumbs. So any of those phases, and I'm going to talk about 4 and 5 in just a moment. I wanted to see if any of these, do you feel like it's your center of gravity?
No. They used to be. I know them all very well, but not at this moment. So that's cool.
All right.
Yeah.
Phase 4 is manifestation momentum. And this is where you're actively clearing blocks to receiving. And that you're in this process of my thoughts create my perceptual reality. So you're in alignment more often than not, and that you're actively, doing shadow work. You're actively working on clearing stuff out. So you're this clear channel. You're moving forward on your intentions, and you're sticking to things. You're not throwing time, energy, money, and resources on a bunch of different ideas that look like they might work. So it's manifestation momentum. You're pretty solid, pretty grounded. Phase 5 is inspired action and results. This is where you're plugged in and aligned most of the time. You're manifesting with grace and ease. Your thought, actually, you have a thought, and then it starts happening. And there's a shorter time where when you have that thought that you bring it into your reality. And this is where you're plugged in, tuned in most of the time. And there's like, you're living a life of bliss, of grace, joy. So where would you say you are center of gravity?
Number 4. Nail number 4. Okay. And I get little tastes of 5, but not as often as I would like. Yes.
Beautiful. Okay, great. So I'm going to give you an action item for phase 4 to keep you moving forward and staying more solidly in phase 5. So with phase 4, one of the best, proactive things to do is to prep for success. So we know that we could hit a roadblock. We know that when we expand our business and are attracting more clients or more income, that we could be busier. And a part of us could say, I really like this white space in my calendar. I don't know if I want to be busy again. And what that's doing is putting a big no to the universe, the quantum field, the vortex, to more clients. So it's preparing for success. And one of my favorite ways to do that is through the raising your unconscious performance limit. Okay. And I'll give you a link for how to get access to that. It's called Breaking Through Barriers, and it's specifically targeting on prepping for success. We're clearing those blockers that we have to receiving more good in our life.
Yep. Okay, great.
So it's an instant access home study course that's it's one of my favorites for people because it's targeted, especially for you, because you've been on this manifesting path for a while. You've got good success, but it's this when you're dipping into 5 and it's whoop, and you get pulled back into 4. So I think this is going to get you more solidly at phase 5.
I love it. Yep. Thank you.
Okay, great. So I will, for everybody listening, I'll put that also in the show notes if you can relate to what Heather is going through. It's called Breaking Through Barriers, and it's instant access home study course. All right. So as we start to wrap up, Heather, do you have any questions for me? Anything else that we didn't cover?
No, I feel like my energy softened around my overwhelm.
That's very good. And maybe try the freeform writing.
Yes. Absolutely.
When it's heated in the moment. The best time to what I call clear blockers is when we're in that teary or that frustrated or that angry place, is sit down, do nothing else, and just allow it to flow out. And in Breaking Through Barriers, you'll have access to one of my favorite blocker clearing processes called past perception revision process, which we did a little bit of here in the episode, but we go much deeper into the exercise there. All right, great. So we will wrap up. And before we do that, Heather, I'd like you to share a little bit about your work and how people can reach out to you, like where they can find you.
Thank you for your generosity. And this is so great. I am Heather Fleming, founder of consciousnutrition.com. So, that's my company. I've been a nutritionist for a while, working with our relationship with food and how we can shift our manifesting and thinking towards our health and well-being. And I have 2 programs called Meals and Feels and Nourish University. So I share a lot of information on all those avenues.
Beautiful. I'll make sure, listeners, that I will put how to reach out to Heather in the show notes. And all right, as we wrap up, remember, as you confirm yourself, you free yourself to success on your terms. And if you'd like to experience a manifesting breakthrough, it's just 1 moment away, 20 minutes, and you've got that clarity and upliftment. I'll put the link in the show notes, and I'd love to support you in creating your thoughts into reality. So much love. Thank you for listening, everybody.